Today, I am here at the American Cemetery in Normandy, France. I was here last with my grandmother when I was 13 years old, and it was one of those times in traveling that you felt like you were truly in a sacred and a hallowed place. The cemetery in Normandy is largely contained of the bodies of those who died on D-Day and on that early Normandy campaign. Most of the tombstones you'll see are from June 6 into the early parts of July. And I think it's a special and sacred place. Certainly Arlington is worth the trip, and in its own right it's a hallowed place. But Arlington is the history of 150, 160 years of American history and the honor that is rightfully bestowed on them. But some of that was wartime, some of that was peacetime. And here what you have is the sacrifice of those around us that lie interned here in a very short period of time, fighting for a people that they did not know and a land that many of them had never been to before. And so the cemetery here in Normandy and many across Europe and the Pacific theaters are very special and very sacred places. We come here to remember the sacrifice, to remember the cost, and a lot of things can be said about the United States, good and bad. Certainly it has not been perfect. But I think what's interesting is that historically, in the scope of nations, the United States has fought for peoples and lands that we have not kept, apart from a place to bury the dead. And so in this very special place, we see many Americans interned. Different faiths, different religions, different ages, but all fighting against evil and fighting for truth and for freedom. And so I wanted to record this briefly for you to encourage you, if you have the opportunity to visit places like this, to learn the stories, to see the names, to see the crosses that don't even have names to them, that they're unknown but to God. It's worth your time. It's worth it to pause and to remember. It's worth it so that we don't forget the price of freedom. It's worth it so that we don't forget the price, the cost, the damage that evil can cause. And so here in these special and sacred places, this one, the cemetery at Normandy, we see laid to rest in dignity and honor the brave individuals who fought for freedom in Europe in 1944 and 1945.